Hi and welcome to another video. So this is one in my film series, and the next film that I went to see was Argylle. I'm actually quite behind with all this because I went to see it on the 1st of February, so quite behind but catching up. So this is the image for the film that you've probably seen in the media if you watch that kind of thing. And I suppose I've really been putting this off because of all the detail in the pattern and everything. And then I was tidying up the other day and I found this. Check this out. So this was the wrapping on a notebook that I was given when I left a school where I worked. So I must have had this for nearly, let me get this right. So I left there in 2005. So yeah, I've had this a while. I've not used the notebook yet either because I was always keeping it for something special. But when I found it, it's in a lovely box as well. Bear with me a minute, I'll get the box. So here's the box it came in, and Aspinall of London is where it's made. Oop. Hide the message. I've still got the little card. It was from my friend Helen. And this is the book. Just look how beautiful this is. I knew I had the book, but you know when something feels too special to use? This is kind of what it felt like. So this is a leather binding. And look, it is actually plain paper. Quite thin. But the big joke, and the reason Helen gave me the book, is I talked about wanting to write a book, which I've never published or anything. So yeah, that was the reason she gave me this book. So a lovely happy memory there. And anyway, this was wrapped around that book in that box. So when I saw this, I thought, well, why don't I cheat a little bit? Because there's nothing to say that I have to paint every single picture. Sorry, glue stick falling. I don't have to paint every picture or draw every picture. So for this one, just get rid of that shadow of the iPad. I thought I would use this as the background. Now you can see, obviously if I do it that way, it's not going to work because the patterns, I have lots of paper, but the pattern's the wrong way. So I do need to do it that way. So what I think I will do is just cut down this fold and just use that bit and try and centre it on the page. And then for the orange bit, I've got this post-it note thing. So I thought I'd cut the bag out of this and do a collage piece basically. I don't do collage as a general rule. So let's cheat on this one. Let's tidy that up a bit. I should have probably used my paper trimmer. There we go. Yeah, that raggedy edge is going to annoy me. There we go. I paper trimmed it so it's a neater edge. So because this book is not terribly fond of wet media, I thought I'd use double-sided tape. So let's talk about Argylle then. It is a crazy film. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Kind of a bit like James Bond meets Mr. Bean in some ways. It's an all-star cast, so there's Henry Cavill, Sam Rockwell, Bryan Cranston, Catherine O'Hara, Dua Lipa's in it, Bryce Dallas Howard, loads of famous people. John Cena's in it, Samuel Jackson is in it, and like I say, it's a bit of a romp really in a lot of ways. And on the poster for the film it does say, "From the twisted mind of Matthew Vaughn." So Matthew Vaughn actually directed the film, and Jason Fuchs actually wrote the story, I guess. And it's not anything terribly serious at all, and just a laugh a minute in lots of ways. So I would highly recommend it if you're wanting to have just a bit of fun and relaxation. And there's so many twists and turns in the film that it keeps you guessing. So let's get this off of here now. So the story is based around a writer who writes about spies, basically. And sorry, I clearly can't do two things at once. I can't talk and do this. So yeah, the film is about this writer. She writes about spies, and then she kind of finds out that some of what she's written is actually true to life, and then she goes to visit her mum and dad to get away from the city, and then things happen on the train, and just honestly a laugh a minute. Quite cheesy in a lot of ways. I think at one point in the past I did read that Henry Cavill was being put forward for James Bond, but he was considered to be too young at the time. And I'm not sure if in doing this film he hoped to have another shot at James Bond, but he's just very cheesy as one of the main characters. So let's get this. I'm not going to measure it. I'm too lackadaisical for that. So there we go. I'd already cut a piece of this. I'm not going to worry about doing the gun and the lipstick at the bottom there. And I am kind of going to cheat. I'm going to draw around that. Oh! No, I can't draw around it. Let's just draw it on here. So I don't know if you've been to see this film, and if you have, what you thought of it. One of the cutest moments is the cat in the backpack. Just so very, very cute. Looks like a beehive. I'm not going accuracy with any of these, so it's fine. And you're probably watching and saying, "Sue, why don't you fold it in half?" I'm going to cut around a bit more there because it's a bit flatter at the top. Yep, that'll do nicely. I will use glue, I think, for this bit. So one of the standout scenes is where Dua Lipa is escaping on a motorbike, and she's riding along a harbour side, and there's cafes along this harbour, and she is suddenly plucked off the bike. I think that's by John Cena. It's just hysterical. And you've probably seen that bit actually in the trailers. I've just realised I've got the pencil mark there. So yeah, you've probably seen that bit in the trailers for the movie, so I'm not giving any big secrets away there. Let's zoom in a bit more. So that's that bit. Then we need, is that going to be big enough? Yeah, that'll be big enough. Good job, Sue. And then there's some ridiculous dance moves. The stunts in the film are so funny, so funny. I really enjoyed them. And oh no, I've got to draw a cat. So let's do the outline. This cat is just so cute. And I believe that the cat belonged to one of the crew members or one of the cast members. I forget who it actually belonged to. And they did take it along to the opening of the film in the rucksack. It was just so cute. I wish I could remember whose cat it was. I'll look it up and put it in the little description above. Might have to get my white Posca out to do some of this cat thing. And those gorgeous eyes. Gorgeous, gorgeous eyes. And I don't know if the door was left open at the end of the film for a sequel. But if it was, it would be very funny. It'd be quite a good laugh for a sequel, I think. Just had to pause you while I went and got some more supplies. I've got these Pen Touch pens, which are white ink, and they can be a bit temperamental. Probably quite dried out, actually. Okay, it's taken me a few minutes to get this activated, so let's just see what we can do with this. They're funny pens, these One Touch. When they work really well, but they don't always seem to work as well as I think they should, as you can see with this one. There's a lot of ink trapped here. See, and then it all just suddenly comes out. I don't know if you can see that. Anyway, I've got my Posca there if I decide I really need it. This might give me some quite nice texture for the fur. If in doubt, use your fingers. I just want to lighten it up. I'm not fussed about it all being totally white, because he's not, and the cat's not all white, it's kind of greys. And I do want the, it's just came in my Art 101. It reminds me of being at primary school. There we go. That'll do for that for now. I've got my things on my fingers. So while that's drying, I'm going to do the brown bits around the edge of the thing. And the angles are the same as the angles on these diamonds here. So I'm going to use those as a kind of guide, really. I'll try to anyway. Yeah, I'm not going to fuss about lining it up exactly as it is in the picture. Oh, I should have done the other side as well, so. I'm going to use these aqua markers for shading in some of the background. And I know these diamonds are too big really for the size on the case, but again, not going to worry. Where am I? No, because they're in keeping with the size, the things on there. So let's just go ahead and colour these in. I've just checked and I thought I was filming all of that. I'm not quite sure what has ended up being recorded and what hasn't. So, apologies. I don't know. Anyway, here's my finished drawing and here's the bit from the film. Like I say, it says, once you know the secret, don't let the cat out of the bag. I've thoroughly enjoyed the film and I may actually do some of the lettering when I find a decent pen that's going to work on this paper. Anyway, thank you so much for watching and I will see you again in the next one. Cheerio for now.
Oh.